Hey everyone, it's Keela here, and today I'm sharing a layout and process video for day 22 of my A Scraplift Today series here on YouTube. Today's lift is in the top right hand corner, and I've also added the link in the description below. I'm going to be using the Hearth and Home collection by Simple Stories. I absolutely love this collection, and it was my DT kit for our gifts and crafts, and I had quite a bit left over, so I thought I'd use some for this layout today because the colours work really well with my photographs. Now, the photographs are quite unusual. They are of a jackdaw bird. I think it's a jackdaw. And basically, during the first lockdown, we was at home, and I heard some rustling coming from my chimney. Now, I wasn't sure what it was. I was a little bit concerned because it sounded obviously like it was alive and moving. So I contacted a gas engineer to come out and take out my chimney so we could find out what was going on behind my chimney. And to our surprise, we found a young jackdaw bird. It was only a young one. He wasn't even flying, and it was just really, it amused us massively. Like, the kids were amazed. I was amazed. Although we had to have someone in the house, which was a bit worrying, especially at that time, because none of us knew what was going on really with the whole coronavirus thing. But I knew that we needed to get this, this animal or whatever it was out of our chimney. And we rescued it. We managed to save the bird, and we put it in the garden, and me and the children watched. It was we'd put it in like a canvasy box thing that there were some old ones that I was getting rid of, and we put it in there with some kind of old blankets and things to see if it would fly away. And to our surprise, its mum actually came down, and she was sat on the wall, and I guess they was communicating with each other. And eventually, after quite some time of watching, because I was watching to make sure no cats came to get it. I have cats of my own, so I kept them in the house. And we watched and watched, and eventually the little bird flew away with its mum, and it was such an amazing moment, and I'm so pleased that me and the kids got to experience that during such a tough time for everyone. It definitely was something that needed to be documented because it was such an amazing moment, and it was amazing to watch this little bird build up its confidence and fly away with its mum. So what I've done so far is I've added lots of layers of pattern paper on the background, and I'm sticking with the colours of the black and white, the grey, and the kind of rusty orange in colour. I felt like they worked quite well with my photos. And now I'm just having a flick through the embellishments that I have. As you can see, I had quite a lot left, and I want to use quite a few bits on here. But at the same time, I don't want to over embellish because there's a lot going on with the pattern paper. So there's this reef sticker, which I've cut in half, a little label here, which I'm tucking in at the top, along with a tag. The tag I need to cut down yet. It was one of the cut apart tags. I pulled in some little florals that I could fussy cut out. There's also this piece that I cut off the back of one of the pattern papers. I felt like I could fussy cut that out and add it on here as well. And that reads home, and I thought that worked well as well with the story because obviously this happened in our home. And then I'm just having a look at some of the foam stickers. I thought I was going to use this hello piece as part of my title, but I do decide to change that in the end. I have another foam piece which says live well, and I thought that was really fitting for this story because had we not got someone out to come and check, I dread to think what would have happened to this little bird. So I'm just layering little bits in. And now I've skipped forward and I've fussy cut them all out and stuck them down. And I haven't added tons of embellishments, but I've added enough, I think, little details for this page. I'm now going to add some stitch detail to this little tab at the top. It had some kind of like fake stitching lines, and I wanted to add some real ones because it just adds, again, another texture to the page, and I really love that. So I've stitched that with some white thread, and I think I only used 2 strands because it was such a small little area on the page. So now I'm having a look at the title again, and like I said, I thought I was going to use this hello, but I just didn't feel like it worked for this page. So I do have a look shortly through some old thickers and titles and things that I have in my stash. And I find some gold ones which were from a past Scrap Squad kit, I think not last year, possibly the year before, and I had some left, and I found the gold word that reads grateful, and I felt like that worked really well for this story. One of the reasons being I was grateful that obviously we managed to save this little bird, but I was also grateful of that amazing memory and moment that me and the kids got to experience. So yeah, it's not something you get to experience every day, and I mean, you know, when are we ever going to have that in our lives again, where we get to see a little bird take its possibly its first flight, and watching how its mum encouraged it to finally take off, and then it just did, and it was just absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I cried because it was just so beautiful, and I was just so pleased that, you know, it did take off with its mum, and you know, it didn't get attacked by a cat or, you know, or possibly worse. And you know, we just like to think that, you know, it's living a happy life, and possibly have babies of its own. So yeah, it was really beautiful moment. So I'm now just adding in a couple of little details. I've fussy cut out some little tiny florals from the pattern paper, and I'm adding in some gold sequins because I've used that gold title. I felt like I needed to add a little bit of gold elsewhere on the page as well. So just use my wet glue to stick that down, and then I'm going to finish it off with some gold splatters using Jen Hadfield Gold Mist, which is from my stash. So yeah, so I'm really pleased with how this page has turned out. I'm so pleased to have these photos scrapped and this story documented. Definitely one that we will remember for a long, long time. Thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow with another lift. Bye.